Swadikap and welcome to Pause Selection. In this channel, we talk about fun things in life and the reason why I chose them. It has been a while, really a while, okay, until, well, I got time and mood to actually make this perfume. Not this perfume, this session that talk about, again, perfume, anyway. But what is it about? It's about the Q&A, the question and answer that I post on my community, a while ago, 3 weeks ago, sorry. Anyway, here are my responses. Well, let's start. I got a question from WVD2518, okay. From my experience, the perfume that's loved by women is not preferred by men. Why? Well, I would say that, preference for anything is based on culture, background, religion, whatever you are used to. For example, like here in Thailand, we have a fruit called durian. Not many people like durian. And I would say that it's based on their experience, their background, their family background, their culture background. What else? Or like when you talk about Thai food, what do you think of? Maybe fish sauce? Fish sauce can be appreciated, if you are used to like food in the Southeast Asian. I have I have students from China, and we had a class called Aesthetics of Fragrance and Flavor, and it was her first time that she tried fish sauce. She didn't like it, okay? She didn't like it at all. And well, not all Asian like fish sauce, and what else? Like blue cheese, blue cheese is much loved by European, Westerners, but when you talk about blue cheese in Thailand, that it could be challenging to many. So perfume is also a part of another example of this, when we talk about preference. But when we talk about men and women, that people from, let's say, from the Middle East, guys, they wear rose perfume. But in Thailand, rose was worn by ladies. But nowadays, rose is rather perceived as fragrance of older generations. Okay, so in this case, like I said, is cultural things. All right. So next, I got this one from Liam, GD4Q. Okay, he said, this is what he said. I hope it's okay to ask something a bit different, but I'd be really interested in your response. Let's say you come home and catch a whiff of a funny smell. How would you react? I would try to find out what it is. Okay, then what would you need to find it, or would you just try to cover it up? I would definitely need to find it, because if it's funny, what funny can it be? Like if it's like burning, you better find it where it is, because you don't want to have your house on fire, right? So you have to find out what it is. But let's say if it's something that like smell of maybe from cooking oil, it could be unpleasant. It could be unpleasant, especially if you live in a condominium. If you live in a room where you don't have good ventilation, that can be very bad. Okay, in fact, the smell of cooking oil can stick on your hair, on your clothes. It's bad. It's very, very bad. In this case, if it happens to me, I would open all the windows, and I would try to let the air pass through and, get the fresh air come in as much as possible, as quickly as possible. I would never cover it up with anything. I have seen people who experience this kind of thing, and then instead of letting the air flow or have the ventilation start, they rather spray like air freshener, instead. That's not my choice, okay? Because I don't want to cover one thing with the other. It does not work. Maybe because I have a very good nose. I would be able to pick out anyway that you have this, you have that. It's just a big mess. I would avoid it at all cost. Okay. What if you could not find it and the smell gets worse? How would you go about locating the source? Like I said, I have a very good nose. I would find it anyway. Sooner or later, I will find it anyway. So, how much would it annoy you? Very much so. So I would need to find it. Just like, let's say if it's like burning smell, you better find it as soon as possible. Okay, you don't want to have your house on fire. That's very, very dangerous. Any good stories about having to sniff around for the source of strange smell? Yes, but I didn't need much time to find out at all. It was me. I was cooking, okay, but then during the cooking process, I think I let it simmer for a while, and then I went away. I did some laundry. I started to clean my things around, and then I forgot. I forgot completely. What happened? It burned. The whole house smelled like burnt food for many days. So that's very bad. And yeah, very, very dangerous as well. And it was the only time that it happened. So have to be very careful. What else? Next, I got a question from James Darnley. Okay, this is what he said. You are obviously well traveled. Where are your favorite places in the world to buy fragrances? Well, capital cities. Anywhere. Japan, Bangkok, Paris, New York. Well, New York is not a capital city, but it's a city. Because I would say that, it's a business, right? It has to be able to survive, to sell, to attract customers. So they have to be in a big city. But from my experience, I went to, like I said, Tokyo, London, Paris, Rome, Washington, D.C. But then, my most successful purchase came from a trip that I went to Brussels in Belgium and also Amsterdam in the Netherlands. Why? When we think about perfume, Paris would be like a capital city of perfumery, right? But I experienced, I found out that in Paris, most of the shops, like, for example, Foraiku, they have their own shop and they sell only Foraiku. Dior, of course, they have Dior. Hermes, they have Hermes. Chanel, they have Chanel. These are designers. But, well, of course, Memo, Paris, Foraiku, these are niche brand. But they sell only their own stuff, right? Because it's like their maison. Like if I want to buy Italie Orange, I need to go to the headquarters, okay? But then, of course, there are a few multi-brand stores like Jovoy in Paris. But then, I found out that yes, they have like Italie Orange, but only a few, like some bestsellers that in the store. If I want to get something rare, something different, something that is, not easily or commonly perceived by the public, I would need to go to the store, obviously. So in this case, I would say that it's more difficult to shop for fragrances in Paris compared to Brazil and the Netherlands, because the multi-brand store that I have, there are a few you can search from the internet, and most of them are located in close proximities. Okay, and I enjoyed shopping fragrances from these two cities very much. So if you have a chance, try and let me know how you think about. Okay, what else? Next, I got a question from Jane de Jubilant. Okay, are there any fragrances or fragrance notes which negatively affect you? Amber. I don't like amber very much. But it depends, if it's a well blend amber, I love it. Amber, like I said, is amber from the chemicals. For example, I dislike the one that is called Amber Max. I hate it. In fact, I don't just dislike, I hate Amber Max. And I can smell Amber Max almost anytime when the fragrance contain Amber Max, because it's so strong. But it's a very good fixatives. Okay, it gives longevity and performance to the perfume, but that's not my kind of things. Because when I like perfume, yes, I would love to have like good performing fragrance, but I wouldn't mind, if it lasts only an hour, I can reapply. I can respray. And besides, I'm a heavy sprayer. I usually spray 20, 30 sprays in each application. So in this case, I don't mind. If the smell is nice, I can reapply it. On the other hand, I found out that if the smell is too strong or sticks on my skin or on my clothing too long, I have several fragrances, several perfume that can stick on the cloth even through washings. Okay, and these often are perfume that contain Amber Max. If you are someone who like great performance, go for something that contain Amber Max, like Carlisle, okay, from Parfum de Mali. Well, it's the beast. And well, I don't like it. Anyway, it does not make me sneeze or tickle my nose in any way, but I just don't like it. Or I can say sometimes, if I was if I'm not in the mood, I get migraine. It's even worse, right? Yeah, Amber Max, not like Oriental Amber. It's different thing. Okay. Which is your favorite fragrance bottle? Oh, like design wise, there are several. Like the unique one would be those from Neanderthal perfume. Again, Neanderthal. The name says it all, right? Neanderthal is like the ancient ape, like human-like ape. And if I remember correctly, Neanderthals were the one who started making tools, like for domestic use, knife, axe, that kind of thing. So the bottles look like axe. Yeah, like rocks that has been shaped into the shape of an axe or knife or something. So that's very cool. The design, the concept of the brand, the name of the brand, it goes very well with one another. What else? the perfume sprayer. The sprayer should be good quality. Okay, it should not clog. It should give fine spray with evenly distribute liquids. Once you press it. So that's very important. What else? Color. Color of the bottles, color of the juice, all matters. Okay. Well, in fact, I have talked about this in my other clips several times. Okay. So, yes, design is very important. Like for in the case of Neanderthals, in fact, I blind bought Neanderthals, all of them. I think they had like 4, so I bought all of them all at once, without smelling them. So that's crazy, right? But I like the concept. I like the name. And when I try the fragrance after the purchase, it's not too bad. Okay, it's the fragrance. I would say that it goes with the name. Like Neanderthal, it should be smoky, something elemental, something that is, well, not flowery, something like raw. Yeah, that's the word. All right. Okay, next I got this one from What's That Smell? Okay, nice one. Thank you very much. Are there any fragrances that you smell everywhere? Baccarat Rouge 540. Yes, I would say that it's basically everywhere, and I could smell Baccarat Rouge 540 every day. When I get on the bus, I get on the mass transit of all sorts, in the office, in the building, in shopping mall. Yes, I can smell Baccarat Rouge 540, or it's flankers, or it's dupes. It's one of the best selling fragrance of all time. And yes, it's not a question why it got duped so many. Yeah. So, and I'm pretty sure that those that I could smell is not, well, they are not Baccarat Rouge 540 because it's so expensive. It's so expensive. Next. Has your nose improved since you first got into fragrances? Yes, I would say, because as we smell more, we have more experience. We in fact, in the beginning, I talked about amber, right? I don't like amber as much, but 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I would say that I love amber, like oriental amber. But I don't like specifically amber mattes. I cannot stand it at all. What else? Your least favorite fragrances? Yes, anything that contains amber mattes. Yep. I have some of them. Okay, I have some of them. I keep them as my reference. Okay, because I also teach in a class, and yes, I need to have ingredients, examples to show to my students. Next, I got this comment from Kundring Pokam. Okay, he asked if I got assigned, okay, to make a perfume with white flowers, only white flowers. Well, you know that I'm a perfumer. I work in R&D, research and development. I'm a perfume collector. I'm a perfume user. I'm a perfume evaluator. And in this case, if I got assigned to make white flower perfume, well, you have to understand the structure of perfume. Usually when we talk about top notes, these contain smaller molecules, like volatile molecules, so they can get off very fast because the molecule is very small. And usually these got extracted with alcohol. And then the base note should be something heavier, larger in the size of the molecules. It should be like resinous, resinoid, oily, and if I can choose, maybe I can try to use Orange Blossom Neroli, okay, in the top notes because it's also considered as white flower, and then at the base I would put tuberose, yeah, a common one, tuberose, as the base. So this would be interesting. In the middle, I can try to add something else like maybe jasmine, and because I live in Thailand, we have different kind of white flowers here. Like we have the night blooming jasmine. We have ดอกแก้ว Rithia or something. Sorry, I cannot think of the English name right away. But then we have also the water jasmine, which is not jasmine. We have tree jasmine, which is not jasmine either. But yeah, in English, these are all the terms that they use. So we can put all these into the white flower perfume. And next, I got this from Lady Cleo. Okay, so glad you have decided to try this, the Q&A. Yes, I would. I'm very excited, in fact, because sometimes I want to hear what you guys want to know about me. I'd like to know if you have ever had any funny or embarrassing reactions to fragrances you have worn. Yes, and this one is from Followed by Kerosene. Because I'm a heavy sprayer, and I remember the time I sprayed maybe like 20 sprayers. 20 sprays of Followed by Kerosene. Followed is very strong, very potent, and I know that. I have worn it many times. So when I wear this kind of perfume, I don't put it around my neck. I think that I learned from Mr. Rochadov. Like he said that never put perfume around the neck because as we get older, I'm 50s, so I'm in my 50s. So in this case, I would be very careful to put anything on my neck because we tried. But when I have strong perfume like Followed, I would spray on my arms, on my torso, on my legs. Yes, and that's good enough to give off the projection, to give silage. Okay, and when I wear perfume, I want to make sure that I can smell it all day. If possible. If not, I will respray it. I would douse myself in perfume. But when I use perfume, I must be able to smell my perfume. Otherwise, I think it makes no sense. You use perfume because you want to smell it. Period. Again, this is my own opinion. If you just want to wear just one spray, it's your choice. Not mine. And yes, when I wore this Followed, 20 sprays of Followed, I wore this and I went to a class. And students came into my class. I was there standing, preparing my stuff. And then students, one by one, they came in after the lunch break. Okay, and they said, oh, it smells like dessert. It smells like pancake. Almost immediately once they step into the classroom. And then some of them said that, oh, it smells like something burning. Well, it's not embarrassing, but yeah, it's interesting to see how each person reacts to the same fragrance. Yep. And this is based on their background, their experience. Is it amusing or awkward? Yeah, it's interesting. I would say it's interesting. Yep. And in fact, I have tried. I have worn perfume like oud, incense. Like my mom, when I wore once incense perfume. I think that's Bracken Women by Amouage. And then I went to visit my parents. And my mom asked if I have just visited a temple or something before seeing them. Of course, that's incense, right? So it was interesting. Yeah, it's not embarrassing or amused. It just I found it interesting. That's all. Yep. What else? Well, oud. Sometimes when we have dirty oud, some people compare that to like feces, but no, I have never experienced that. Yeah, really. Or even secretion magnifique. Some people said, "Oh, it smells like blood. It smells like semen. It smells like bodily liquid." But no, on my skin it smells like white flower, metallic white flowers. So, and the last question or comments, okay, I got here from user formerly known as T. Love a Q&A. Okay, outside of fragrances, what's the worst smell you have experienced? BO. on the bus, crowded bus in the summer, BO can be very offensive. And are there any weird smells that you really like? Not really. Because as a perfumer, I like to smell basically everything. So you can say that I have fetish to smell. Yes. I don't feel bad about that because, sometimes we have an animalic, perfume, and I want to make sure, when you talk about like the one that I just mentioned, secretion magnifique, I thought about this one in my class that it smells like semen, it smells like blood, it smells like body liquids, and then I couldn't perceive it as such. But then I asked my student to smell them and identify, and some of them said, "Oh yeah, it smells like this and smell like that." So yeah, it's interesting, to find how different people perceived the same fragrance in different ways. So I would say that's interesting. Okay, I don't call it weird. It could be strange and interesting. All right, so that's all the Q&A but this is my first Q&A. I think it is quite interesting. So if you are not annoyed by my reactions or by my gesture for my moving hands, well, I really appreciate it if you stick around, and if you are still here, we can have some more Q&A session next time. All right, and again, if you are not subscriber, I would appreciate very much if you do so, and let the conversation start. Until next time, สวัสดีครับ